The podcast that you're about to listen to does not care about your emotions, your hypersensitivity, or your political correctness. If you wish to continue, then
shut up and sit down.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. You're listening to the Alpha 5 podcast. I'm Frank, a.k.a. PJ, here with John, Jonah, Ray, Fabian, and today we got a special guest for you, Casket D. Fellas, what's going on?
What's up?
bro, what's going on?
What's goody? Yo, Casket, thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, thank you guys for having me, man. It's my pleasure.
Absolutely, absolutely. For those of y'all who don't know and who should know, Casket is the founder of the independent record label Mad, Gifted, and Bothered. Casket, tell us a little bit about it. What's going on with that?
Yeah, this it's just a crew of me and my homies. It's kind of actually fit for the subjects at hand today because we all came up together since young pups, and it started off as a crew, and we all were diving into music, and then as things progressed musically with my career, we decided to turn everything legit and be our own independent label and imprint.
Now, for those who don't know exactly, what's an imprint?
Well, it's kind of like almost saying a collective of artists. So we're all down with the same crew. Obviously, once you go legitimate, there's paperwork involved with certain people in that as well. Like, that's the business side of it. But
Right.
way beyond that and way before that, just a crew of like-minded individuals, brothers, you could say my day ones, and on a musical journey together.
All right, dope. What's the latest thing you guys got out right now?
Actually, this week we just released a single from another co-founder of MGB, Blizzard, featuring myself, called Marshawn Lynch. We dropped the visual as well as the song. It's on all streaming platforms, and the visual's up on YouTube and many blogs. And my latest project was an EP called Sewer Steam that's out fluctuating right now, as well as an album, a full length that I did with another team member, my cousin Genesis, called Everything in Between. So, I mean, if you just search Casket D, it'll pop up, whatever, you know.
Man, you out there everywhere,
All
huh?
right. Yo, why did you choose to name that track Marshawn Lynch? Do you guys go beast mode?
Yeah. In the hook, it's basically referring to being beast mode and stuff like that. And I thought it would have been a little too cliche to name it beast mode. So I said, let's go with Marshawn Lynch.
No, I'm digging that, bro.
That's dope.
Subliminal.
Love. Hopefully my man cut some of them Skittles checks or something, man. What's up? Let's pop
Yeah.
up.
Word. That'd be nice if you do.
Mm-hmm.
You actually touched on really exactly what, like you mentioned, we're gonna be sitting here talking about. And that's your day ones, you know. The question was really presented by Jonah. So Jonah, lead us into that. Well, what was the question that you gave us?
I mean, it wasn't. All right, so the question was, I mean, I don't even know how to say this. So here's how it came about. I was on Instagram scrolling, and I came across a video by Young M.A., who was in an interview with I forgot the name of the show, but anyway, I guess she was asked about Day One crew, right? And if she's supposed to be responsible for bringing them up and stuff like that. Her response was pretty much like, no, fuck that. Like, if I don't care about day ones. If you're not on the same wavelength or the same level as I am about getting money, then I don't care about you. There's no reason why I should even bring you up. It's not my responsibility to feed you and give you the helping hand. Now, if you're helping me in return, then yeah, and we're day one, then sure, I'm gonna hold you down just like you're holding me down. But if we don't really work, if you're not really on the same level as I am, then nah, I don't really care about day one. That doesn't mean anything to me. And I thought that was a pretty interesting question, or a pretty interesting statement from her, because, you know, all of us to some degree have hood in us, right? Or been around it. And it's always been, yo, your day ones are always like, you hold it down no matter what, right? You never let them go by themselves. Like, you always have each other's back. So for somebody like her, who's allegedly, and I've never heard her say that she is or isn't, allegedly of blood, and for her to say something like that, I found it was kind of, weird. So I posed the question to y'all, where y'all stand with, day ones. Like, do you follow her sentiment, or are you, like, nah, this day one is important to me. Like, if we ride together, die together type of thing.
So I mean, I'm torn on it personally, because people change. You know what I mean? So for me to be able to sit here and say like that I would rock with somebody regardless, I don't think it would be truthful on my part, because in a way it's kind of like, yeah, what are you bringing to the table? And it's not even just like on a monetary standpoint. It's like, all right, what are you doing for me in like and in everything and in anything standpoint, right? I've got, out of everyone I've ever met in my life, John and Fabian, I've known for 24 years at this point. Oh, excuse me, 22 years, right? So like for me, they're my day ones,
Right.
but because it wasn't from, birth or whatever, but like we grew up together, like family's everything.
We've known each other longer than we didn't know each other. That's really what it comes down to.
By far, but then, I look at situations where we've spoken about it where, for what, 6 years, John and I went our separate ways. You know what I mean? We were on just different paths. So it wasn't about anything bad, no animosity, nothing like that. But once our paths split, they did come back, and here we are again. Like, and didn't miss a beat through it. Mentioned this,
Right.
in a couple podcasts ago. So it's like, I don't think you have to have somebody with you regardless, just because they were there. Like any relationship, you got to be bringing something to the table. For me to continue fucking with you, like any relationship.
Well, I'm kind of mixed too, but I think what she's talking about, like, it didn't come off this way, but if you're not talking, it's hard to mix friendship and business on that level. So if I'm on this path to, I'm an artist or whatever, and I'm trying to get money being an artist, if you're not helping me be an artist, then I'm not going to like pay you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just hand you money because you're not really doing nothing for me on that level as far as financially. On the other side of that is, if they really friends, why the hell does money or have anything to do with it? You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as you don't have to spend shit on me, but you going to just totally disregard my existence because, you know what I'm saying, you over here doing XYZ. So I don't know at what point does money become more important than a relationship. Not that you should stop getting money or you shouldn't, you know what I'm saying, go do you. But if money is your only focus, then you really don't care about no relationships. The only relationships you care about are the ones that are going to be more profitable for you. And that's not a winning formula, period.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because who do you trust at that point? It can't be your day ones, because at that point, the only people you have around you are people that are used to getting money around you. So when the money dries up and all of that shit is over with, then what?
Fair weather friends.
I don't know,
Make
man.
you think.
I'm a little.
What do you think?
I don't think I'm torn on it. I think I'm pretty set in my like day ones or day ones kind of thing, because I feel like your day ones, as you grow, they grow with you, because naturally you guys are just in sync like that. You follow what I'm saying? So there is no, like, if you're not bringing something to the table, then there's no point why we should, have this friendship, because if not, like, energy feeds off energy, right? Like, if I'm sitting here trying to progress in my life, it's only natural that you guys are going to be doing the same thing in a sense. And then if you don't, one or two things is going to happen. Either you are going to be like, maybe I don't want to consider him my day one anymore either. Like,
Yo,
maybe
but
I should just
what
start
does a
phasing
day one
myself out.
what does a day one constitute as? What does a day one constitute as, especially when you're constantly moving and you got to start over a lot of times in life? What's a day one?
That's a valid point.
I think what you meant by that is the person that actually has been your friend since the beginning, before you ever made it. So that was getting down with you before the success.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. And I have my own opinions on it, but yeah, that's what I think she's talking about. And then you progressed forward Some of them was with you, some of them was not. And here you are wondering if you take care of your day one homies.
Yeah, well, when success comes too, you got to think about it like, quote unquote, newer people a lot of the time are in question about ulterior motives and shit like that, right? So I get what she's saying though, because a few of you guys touched on it as well. Like business, from a business side, I totally understand what she's saying. It's like I said, we started out as a crew, but for the business side of things, not everybody has a position. You know what I mean? Like if you start a barbershop tomorrow, not every single one of your friends that you grew up with and that you love like a brother, you're going to embrace and be like, hey, you can be a barber here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's not the, you know. So at the end of the day, I get that type of avenue if she was going there. But I also am conflicted too, because my thing is we do outgrow people sometimes, and everyone's journey is different, meaning I can mature differently and be on a whole different path than someone that I love to death can. And sometimes you got to love them from a distance at times to grow, in order to grow. But I'll still be there for them. You know what I mean? So like I also agree with what you were saying, is like, if money dictates that, then was the friendship really even that real anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, we were there
That's
before that.
because that's what
I
Young
got
Man
you,
was
yeah.
saying. If you're not getting money with me, then you can't be my friend, pretty much. And it's like, yo, you ain't have a relationship out when you was broke. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I think I don't think it's about necessarily physically having that, but like getting money could really just be a representation of like, if you're not on about the same drive that I have, if you're not on have the same goals that I have, right? It's more, I look at it more metaphorically speaking, you know, because you have to have that same end goal, that same mindset, that same hunger, is I feel is like what she's trying to speak to. Because look, I think we've all known people who have taken a rough path, let's say, right? And to certain degrees, yeah, well, you'll rock with them. You know that person may have always had your back, but at the same time, that person was, let's say, always in and out of jail. You know what I'm saying? So like me personally, if I'm on this path to a certain type of success that I want for myself, and I've got this guy, let's say you, John, that you were just in and out of jail, like in our interaction, good people, right? With solid interaction, never did wrong by each other, but you're on this other shit, right? I'm trying to take office, and you're in and out of jail. Can't have you around, bro.
No,
I
get
disagree.
it. I get what you're saying.
No,
it's a fucked up way for being like it, for actually being humans to each other. It's a real fucked up way of being. That we are forced to be like that.
You still can, but it not in certain situations. That's just a reality.
Why? But
I think
that also
reality
in that case that could be like, yo, you believe in second chances, and you believe that everybody has an opportunity to change. So just because that,
well, that's why he's saying in and out, like
that right. That's why I'm saying you're in and out. Like you didn't go in and like, oh shit, damn, like, and then change your ways. Like this is just your pattern, just not your pattern with me.
To be honest though, I believe that life for me is God, but like, you know, if somebody's not a spiritual person, life has its way of.
Oh, we lost you for a second.
Hey, did you get me?
Yeah, life has its way of. That was the last thing.
Yeah, you said life has its way of, and then you cut out.
Of removing people from your path sometimes when you're growing and necessarily they're not. You know what I'm saying? Or you guys are just taking separate paths. Like I said, like I had a lot of people I had to love from a distance at times. The love didn't change, and I'd still be there for them 100%, but our life paths have took a change. Even now, like, I once ran the streets a lot. I don't do that no more. I'm a family man, you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm trying to do positive things business-wise and everything that I'm involved in. So some of my friends are still knee-deep in the streets, and I love them the same, but our lives don't coincide as much, so we don't spend as much time together anyway. Not because there's any love lost, but because life took us on different journeys, period. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
You
different
don't think some of
lifestyles.
you don't think some of that is a conscientious decision though? I'm sorry, Fabian. I know
Yeah.
I know you. I just had to pose that question. Like,
Yeah.
There may be a subconscious and conscientious decision to that though, because you
agree.
see that their lives haven't gone that same way. You know what I mean?
No,
So
I
it's
agree.
like I can't fucks with you right now. Like I got some
I
shit
agree.
going on.
No,
Yeah, no,
definitely.
I get what he's saying.
Go ahead,
I
Fib.
had to
Oh.
learn. Sometimes everybody can't come. It's a saying, everybody can't come. I had to realize that, and sometimes the hard way, I had to realize that. But at the same time, my loyalty doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still there. It's just however their journey takes them, I'm still there for them when they need me. But I kind of understood what she was saying, but at the same time, I also feel like I'm just super loyal to the ones that were there for me, because I've been through the fire with a lot of my bros. You know what I mean? Like we've been through. There's a lot of times we slept on each other's floors, and I was there when we went through deaths together, and all the type of crazy shit that life has a funny way of throwing at you sometimes. Like, so I can never erase that. But at the same time, I also know about progression, and I understand that everybody doesn't progress in the same way, nor at the same time or the same level.
Go ahead, Fib. What you got? You seem to disagree a little bit.
No, I actually agree with Casket 100%, man. That's I'm like a 90-10 with that whole freaking day one thing, and it's leaning towards more day one. Because I see what you're saying, PJ, and I see what John's saying, and I see what Casket's saying. And I believe in all these holding down your day ones. So when I mean your day ones, I mean your day ones that have helped you progress in ways that you don't even think they've helped you progress. For instance, I decided to get into real estate, right? And I was looking to freaking invest all my money in buying some freaking crazy ass office building, renting it out, increase my equity, you name it, all that stuff, right? PJ, you're not very into real estate. You don't know anything, and John, you don't, right? You're dealing with running around kids, but you're on the phone with me, be like, yo, man, I think that's a great idea. You should do it. Hey, what are the pros and cons? Help me weigh it out. Help me walk myself through it. So just because you're not in the same mindset, you're here, or you want to do the mechanic shop or whatever it is, does not mean that they still don't got your back in ways. It don't have that same drive or the same path that you have, but aren't supporting you in ways as a day one for you to achieve your goals. So then that might not be there at your hip saying, okay, I'll go check this place out for you. I'll go meet with this person. I'll help you get that money. Same thing with an artist. Somebody doesn't know shit about music, but they say, hey, listen, I hope you do this and make sure, you're with the right people, or, this person gives you a bad vibe or whatever it is, to try to help you out ways to looking after you as a day one, but they might not have the same mentality or the same mindset or the same drive, but they're supporting you in ways that you can't put a price on. So that's why I feel like it's important to do day one. So like for me, I always think there's a place for somebody for your day ones, regardless. Like if I was an artist, I'll be like, shit, man, you don't know shit about music. You can't mix. You can't help me. You can give me opinions. You can help me be my creative director. I know you have an ear for it. You just don't have the talent for it. Or you've been locked up in and out, but your loyalty hasn't changed. Guess what? You be my head of security. Head of security. Shit like that. So there's always a place for it if you really put your mind to it. So just because their paths are off, like even if I have some friends like, yeah, they got locked up, but the loyalty hasn't changed, just to give me the shirt off their back if I ask for it. You know what I mean? So as long as your negativity doesn't bring me down,
right?
Then and which a lot of them don't. They know I'm not going to bring that around you because you're my boy and my life is separate. However, I still got you for whatever it is, and I can't devalue that because of your bad decisions.
Money can't buy loyalty, bro. As simple as that. No matter how far you go.
So if you really about it, you would figure out a way that everybody can help you out, even if it's just being your freaking consigliere, you're talking on the phone, giving you advice because they gave you relationship advice back in high school when you're struggling, giving you life advice when you're dealing with shit with your folks. I'm pretty sure they help you out when freaking you were dealing with a really tough business decision or trying to do whatever, and they'll give you honest opinions. And it ain't about money because they've been doing this since day one. Right. So that's what I believe in. I don't necessarily believe in, if they're not on the same path, they're not necessarily can help them out. Yeah, because they're helping you out in ways that most people don't see the value in it.
I agree. And you touched on something really dope too. Trust. To me, trust is like the most important thing in any relationship, right? So most people put love above everything, but for me, it's trust. because I could love somebody and not necessarily trust them, but I don't think
Oh.
that I could trust somebody and not necessarily love them. You get what I'm saying? So trust is like, for me, and you can't, like, I know time shouldn't mean everything, but when you've been through situations with people time and time again and they've always been there, that's what builds trust, right? So it's hard to say, like, you can meet somebody that's the most savvy business mind in the world recently, and they could help you exceed all expectations business wise, but do you really trust them when shit
How
hits the
far do you
fan?
trust them?
Yeah, how far do
Exactly.
you? Exactly. So, like, yeah, that's
We've
why
had these conversations.
100%, man. Day ones have a great place. And touching on what you said, I have a friend of mine musically that he used to always piss me off because his drive. He's so talented, bro. And he's down with the camp. He's so talented. He's one of my favorite artists, but his drive just isn't there. And I used to have to tell myself, everyone's drive is not going to match yours. So me and him would have discussions, and I would tell him all the time. Finally, when I got over that, like, look, bro, you're my brother. Beside, because I think he would feel disappointed in himself because he wasn't living up to what not only I kind of wanted him to become musically, but also I think himself. And I told him, bro, that's beyond this. That's one part of our lives. Outside of that, you're my brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could put the mic down tomorrow, and that would mean nothing to our relationship. Like, I love you for you being my bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's rare to have in people, and that's important. We had more people like that on Earth, we would have a utopia society. I swear to God. Because now you're more focused on the love of other people than the love of what somebody could do for you. The whole sentence or thought process is, if you're not my friend, like, if you can't do nothing for me, you're not my friend. Like, that's a crazy fucking sentence.
Yeah.
And I get what you mean by that. And it's not necessarily all material thing, but it just comes off like, damn, I just like you, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
are you require something from me? And I don't require that from you.
Yeah,
it's funny because
exactly.
I feel like Ray actually embodies exactly what you're talking about. That kind of person where, like, the giver, for lack of a way of saying it, like, regardless, like, that that's why I feel Ray embodied. Ray, what's your stance on this, bro?
Wow, man. Well, you guys talking about, I really, really, really feel like, first of all, man, I can't even take credit for that. I just do what I can to help and be a good person. But I have a family member that I can relate to, that I love, man, that I love a lot. And I wish that our relationship didn't take the turn that it did, but because of what happened in our relationship, it turned, like, who I thought was a day one to was not, to somebody that was like, F you, I'm gonna be out. Like, there's nothing that could fix this. You ain't even blood anymore, bro. You ain't blood. F you. You a pig, bro. That's kind of, you know? So, to me, day ones are people that stick to you with you, even through those times when there's misunderstandings, and they understand that you got a good heart, and they don't try to pin things negatively on you because they're not jealous of you, and they don't see, they don't paint a facade version of you, a false picture of you, and they do what they can to help you build and understand what you're going through to help themselves grow as well. But I think when it takes a turn, that's when you know they're not a day one. When you see them turn before anything, before the glitz and the glamour, and they quick to turn a page without remembering the good times and the bad times that brought them to the point that they're at, yeah, then you ain't part of it, bro, or sis, whatever.
Yeah, I think the worst mistake we could do as a people is say, sorry, PJ, but like, because you didn't help me get here, I don't owe you shit, or you didn't do, you know what I mean? And I think that's a bad outlook to have. Like, I feel like you should always give what you can. The only time you don't is if that person is detrimental to your growth. And I'm like I said, I'm not meaning like you have a separate path, but you still been loyal. Yeah, you've been locked up, but you come out and you still got my back, or you're like, hey, listen, man, I think you should be careful with this chick. You know what I mean? Like that's different.
Bringing you
The
down
whole
with
concept,
exactly.
The whole concept hasn't never been even proven to be true. If you look at corporate America and you look at all of the richest people in the world, they always got people with them from their college buddies and stuff. They bring these people with them. These unqualified assholes become CEOs of airlines.
Shit,
You know
that's
what I'm
the
saying?
reason for fraternities and all of that.
Right. And we're the only ones that actually be like, no, I'm not taking them niggas with me. I don't understand.
Yep.
That is such a backwards way of thinking. Not to say that if somebody is dragging you down, that lets them drag you down.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean, like, even if somebody's your homies or whatever, people that you know you are loyal and you know they're good people, if they're lacking in something, I feel like if it's your responsibility, if you can do better, to show them and help them do better. You know what I'm saying? Because again, we always talk about disenfranchisement and this and that, and we all need to stick together. Well, guess what? Every other nation in the world really do that, but people of color in America. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to bring it to a race conversation, but it's just the whole mindset. Like, yo, we shouldn't even think that way.
It's true.
Like, we should be, you know what I'm saying? Because it's counterproductive.
No, it's not a race thing though, man. Because there's
I'm
Puerto
not
Ricans
saying
that
it
do.
is.
No, I know. I'm not saying that you're saying. I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
Because even in Puerto Rico, and I'm sure in other Latin American countries, it's like they got this thing, and I've heard this so much from Mr. Ruben Estrada. Yo, te quítate tú pa ponerme yo. Like, yo, get out of there so I could be there. It's a jealousy thing. It's a
crabs in the bucket. Crabs in the bucket.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, and nobody, because they're all pulling each other down, trying to get up.
So
It's amazing. Instead of lifting somebody else up, and then that person can, once they're at the top, they help.
Yeah, gotta pull you down.
And thou shalt not covet, man. That shit, that envy shit will tear people down the soul. Like, that shit is not cool, man. Can't be fucking with that. And I try because it's hard, because it's almost like, because that ego in me is easy to say, hey, listen, you didn't help me make this, so why the fuck should I take care of you? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I got here, I achieved it. Yeah, what's up? And you didn't help me, like, so.
I don't think it's just
person.
that though. I do think there's more than that. What were you gonna say, Jonah?
No, what I was saying was the whole come on, man. The whole thing behind the whole Young M.A. Statement, at least to me, because you know, growing up, you listen to music like, you know, from Nas, Biggie, Jay, Pac, and everybody, and all of them, you know, speak loyalty to their crew, right? So when you're in listening to the music and listen to them lyrically, especially as a kid growing up, you realize, oh shoot, you know what? Being loyal is something we need to be to each other, right? Like if we all in this together, then we rock together, die together type of situation, right? So when Young M.A. is saying, yo, if they're not about money, then they're not for me. To me, that made no sense, because it's just like, all
right. Jonah, real quick, what are you referring to when you're saying Young M.A.?
To the clip that I sent you guys about what she's saying in regarding her Day One crew.
She did an interview. You can actually Google it and it'll come up.
It'll come up.
Where she specifically was referring to her Day One crew and how she doesn't care about them, essentially.
Pretty much. So for me, this is where I agree with Fave and Casket, because regardless if we fall apart at some level in our life, we've been through so much for me to consider you my Day One, right? There's been so much that we have gone through, whether it's from fights to robbing the nearest bodega, you know what I'm saying, that you guys go through every fucking day, to, you know, maybe getting jumped together, like whatever, or getting fucked up, and like Casket said, you guys, you know, pass out in each other's cribs, you know, through tough times and shit. So regardless of what path you take, I'm loyal to you. So there's no money, nothing. Like, if I make it, there's gonna be something that I can do to help you get there.
Yeah, to better your situation too.
Right. You may not be benefiting me at all at that moment, but if I help you get to where I'm at, then shit, we'll be benefiting off of each other, because we both doing things for each other.
And people need to realize that a lot of the time, benefiting each other has nothing to do with monetary gain. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep.
See, like for one, this may sound fucked up, but it's how I've really approached a lot of situations, especially with family members. I've always taken the approach where I'll do and I'll sacrifice what I'm willing to lose. Right? So like if somebody comes to me, it's happened with family. Family comes up to me like, oh, I need $200 to pay for X, Y, and Z. Like, you know, I'll look at the bank account and be like, yeah, I got $200, but I'm not willing to sacrifice. I know I'm not getting that back from you. I know that this, I mean, I hate to say it, this value isn't there. So I'll give them 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds fucked up. It's like, wait, that's family. Why wouldn't you help them out? But it's because
No, you're right.
You have to understand your relationships, right? So yes, I agree with you 100% in loyalty, Jonah, but that loyalty has to also contain perspective to the relationship. You know what I mean?
You gotta measure people by their character.
Right. You can't just have blind loyalty. Oh, you was there since I was 5. I got you regardless of anything. You need to stay in my house for as long as you need. Yeah, bet. Let's do this. But then you know that this cat has robbed 6 other houses in his past. You're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to maintain perspective to the situation. If you've offered and tried to help somebody better themselves, and they've consistently dropped the ball on that and haven't seized those opportunities, I'm not going to continue to offer you these same opportunities over and over and over again.
But
I'm just
I understand what you're saying, and I kind of agree. I just want to touch on that real quick. You're right. The problem is it lies with people distinguishing day ones by just a time length, when it's more so your character assessment of this person by the trials and tribulations you've been through with each other. So I know a lot of people that are like, I even got friends that I used to go out like clubbing with, and I knew they were just my club friends. Like I knew like I could have a good time with them, but I won't depend on them. If we got into a rumble, I wouldn't really feel secure with them there, because I didn't go through the fire with them, and maybe they're not built for that type of stuff, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's why I agree with what you're saying there. It's more so by judging your day ones, and anybody at that, by their character and what they've shown and proved to you throughout the time of your relationship. So yeah, of course, like when I was hustling, I had one. He was one of my young boys. Like I loved him to death. Like he was like a little bro to me and a couple of us. And he just always messed up the bread. We try to put him on his feet all the time, like giving him packs, and he would fuck up the money. So it just came to a point where it was like, listen, you know, we just can't hold you down when it comes to that no more. Anything else, I'm still there for you. But that's just becoming like, that's like you said, you gotta understand who you're dealing with and know their strengths and faults, and
you can't have blind loyalty.
Yes.
You can't have blind loyalty.
I mean, I think also too, you got to know thyself, right? Because like, take myself for example. Like I know for damn sure I'm not built for jail, and I've told this shit to many of my friends. I'm not built for jail, so I'm not gonna fucking be around people who's gonna put me in that predicament. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but
like,
what if your day one's about that life though?
Not personally speaking, you're not my day one, bro. Because the moment you go to jail, then we might have a situation. And in fact,
That's completely contradictory to what you're saying, bro.
Hold on, I'm gonna correct myself. Hold on, I'm gonna correct myself. Because if I know that you've been to jail, I'm not gonna stop myself from being your friend. However, I will let it be known that, hey, listen, if you decide to do some criminal activities, just don't involve me, or let me know, so that way I'm not part of that. You follow what I'm saying? Because I'm not built for jail. I'm not going to jail.
Well, you keep it separate, and if they're your day ones, they recognize where you're at.
Yeah, exactly. Put you in the situation in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I said, but my whole shit with the day ones and that blind loyalty only comes with people that are going to be uplifting to you. So just because you made a bad decision, technically your bad decisions, the shit you do, if you don't bring it around me, you're still my boy. But if you bring it around me, now you're detrimental to my growth. So then you're not considered.
See,
I think it's also fucked up too, because in a situation like that aspect, right? If you're day one, like if your homie knows you just like you know him, I personally believe that he's not gonna do some situation to get you jammed up. You know what I'm saying? Like with that in mind, like I'm not gonna go ride with y'all with a fucking loaded gun at my waist that I've just shot somebody with. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm using you guys as my escape. Yeah. I wouldn't do something like that because I'm not gonna.
I've niggas done that to me before, driving with mad coke in the car, and I'm in the backseat with a girl. I had no idea. We get pulled over, nigga. I ain't get in trouble, but them niggas sure did.
Yeah, but see, that's where they wrong. At the end of the day, it's like you're gonna put somebody in a situation, give them the opportunity to either decline or accept being in that situation.
Right.
I had no idea. I thought it was just weed in the car. This nigga had coke in a pizza box. Like, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the wrong one. Like, I ain't tell, but they was driving anyway. So me and Shorty just left. But niggas do that shit. And those is not my day ones. And them niggas been locked up mad times and I ain't seen them in years. You know what I'm saying? So I would never consider them as somebody I would sacrifice for or rely on.
But that's
you can because they put you in a bad spot and that's not considered your day one. So the day ones that
Right.
hold you down. You made bad decisions, but never brought their shit around me because you knew because you cared about my well-being. Yeah, different paths, different minds of success, different grinds, but you still respected me as an individual and knew that you didn't want to impede my growth. So you consider my day one. I mean, I would want you to do a little bit better for your life, but guess what? You still hold that loyalty to me.
Business.
You still take care. Yeah,
it's not my business. Just don't bring the shit to me.
Exactly.
I feel like your day ones always display to you that loyalty and that commitment, and you really know you very, very rarely, if ever, question it. Right? It's just there's just like a level of consistency and dedication there that you never have to ask for. It's just ever present. You know what I'm saying?
And you shouldn't have to. Have to.
Right. But that's so. I guess. But they also don't ask anything back of you either. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I feel like to call someone a day one is like there's like a certain level of mutual understanding within that. You know what I mean?
Some unspoken rules, like unspoken. It doesn't have to even be said. Like it's just
right. Like I give this to them because I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. How long ago was it now? 9 years ago. My house lit up on fire. Oof. Home by myself. Parents are in Puerto Rico. And I'm literally watching my house burn. It's got to be 12. It was probably like midnight, 1 o'clock. And I'm calling people. One of the first people I called was Fabian. Right? Let him know, like, yo, my house is on fire, bro. Like,
and I was like, for real?
My man was out at the bar, toasty, and I think it was already in the process of being put out if I remember right. Because I had called him like, yo, like, can you help me tomorrow? And he was out at the bar. My man was at my house at about 9:30 the following morning, and like it wasn't even a question. He showed up drunk, but he was there.
That's loyalty, bro.
I told my girl to drive at the time. I was like, yo, I can't do this. I need to sleep because I gotta move shit. I was like, it's not gonna be fun.
Loyalty, bro.
I called him late in the night, but like my point is, I knew I could call him. I knew he would answer, and I felt in my heart that he would be there, which is why I made that call in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be able to count on one another.
Yeah, but I mean that's what your day ones are at the end, you know. So,
but he does have limits. I have to say, you can count on me for like dumb shit, like crazy shit, but don't count on me for dumb shit. Like if you ask me to be on time for your birthday party, I'm not a day one for that. I would definitely show up late regardless. I'm sorry, you can't depend on me for that, but you get shot or something. All right, I got you, man. Whatever. I'll be in the hospital. What's up? What do you need? I don't know.
It's crazy, man. Is it? So monetarily though, are you expected to bring your day ones up with you? Like, I don't know. I feel like you're just better serving somebody, teaching them something than giving them something.
I mean, you're not supposed to like pay their bills.
Yeah,
I don't think. But if you have a job opening at your company that has 500 employees, you could get the nigga a janitor job. You know what I'm saying? Like he could push him out. So yeah, I would totally expect that. Because I would expect it of myself.
You should always give that helping hand. Yeah, hell yeah. But at the same time,
because I'm giving you money by giving you a job.
Yeah, Opportunity.
I don't want
I'd
the
rather
check.
give somebody opportunity than just give them a free ride.
Exactly.
Absolutely,
I
man.
agree
And
with
I
that
feel
too.
the same way, man. I feel like as we continue to build ourselves and our organizations, our businesses, we should always be looking to hire people that have been there for us in the smallest capacity.
Yep. It goes a long way, man. That's how you build a coalition of people. That's how you build like communities, honestly. And they grow and they grow and they form into different things. So these little concepts.
And if you know your day ones well, you know if you become that successful, you
their
will find a
strong
way.
suits.
You know their strengths. You'd be like, listen,
Right.
Johnny,
Exactly.
you work in my R&D or be creative mind because I know you have ideas for days. You know, you could be a think tank. Boom, you could do that shit. You know, Ray, you're the creative writer, man. I want you to handle all freaking press. I'll do whatever. PJ, you could just fucking run everything because I'm gonna go on vacation, but yeah, you step in for me, bro. You just run the business, just take it over. I gotta go. Like I'm gonna go Japan and learn some martial arts and be Batman if I'm a billionaire.
Right, though.
Don't over fatigue yourself.
Yeah. So it's like, that's the mentality I have instead of just, okay, I'll buy you a house. Yeah, I'll be generous for my gifts. I mean, I believe in that, but you don't do that all the time. You just, listen,
Right.
you got it, you help out. Listen,
Right.
it's cool. But then you keep on going. And then
offer me the opportunity and I'll seize the opportunity or not seize the opportunity.
So-
Exactly.
Yo,
Don't just hand a check because
so-
you're not doing nothing for nobody.
Here's a twist to that, and maybe I'm digressing, but I think the fucked up part about that is like where us growing up, we say these things now because of what we know, but if we know damn well that right now if we went to outside of like the day one people, like if we went to somebody who might be like second in line to the day one, and be like, yo, what
Day
I got,
two?
I just day twos, whatever. So you come up to them like, yo, listen, man, I got this business that I'm doing or whatever, right? It's booming and whatever. I want to offer you the opportunity because I see you down and out. Automatically, they think it's a scam. So it's fucked up that our people think that way. You know what I'm saying? Because if we even some day ones, you might even come up to them that way, and they might be like, yeah, you know what? Let me think about it. I might get back to you on that.
What it goes to what Casket was saying though is trust. It's one of the primary foundations of any relationship. So if you go to somebody and you're presenting them an opportunity, if you're being genuine in your opportunity, right? They have to trust your genuineness in that.
If that opportunity came from somebody that I trusted and it has shown me that, yo, they doing X, Y, and Z over here, and then they come in to give me an opportunity, cool. My crackhead friend from fucking lunch, you know what I'm saying, in 9th grade, come tell me about this. If I give $100, I get $1,000. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So you got to have some level of discernment about it.
Marketing.
Fabian, you touched on it too, Fabian. You said we know our day ones and our their strengths, and we also know their weaknesses. So we obviously we wouldn't want to put them in a position where they're not going to succeed either. So that's another thing I feel like when you're in a position of power or with opportunity, don't hand it out to the wrong person just because that who's going to fail? They're going to fail and you're going to fail because of that. You know what I'm saying? So utilize their strengths, stay clear of their weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like, and also your track record matters too. So yeah, some people they disregard that opportunity that you're trying to give them. But I feel like if you have a proven track record to be at least semi-successful in anything you put your heart and mind into, then people are going to follow your lead regardless. And if you don't, then can you blame them for not wanting to? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. One thing that just came to mind, like we're talking about how we would approach our day ones, but what about as the day one? Right? Like, how should you proceed as the day one? You know what I mean? Like personally, I've got
what
some
your role is.
Well, yeah, because like for example, I've got some people in my life that have done well for themselves and whatnot, right? And I'll go out to dinner with them or whatever, and they're always looking to pay because they know that they're in a better position than I am, right? And I get it, but I personally am the kind of person who like I need to hold my own also. I get it,
but that's your pride, bro. Let that shit go.
I don't know if that's.
you
I
know
don't know
what?
if that's my pride though.
You know what? I kind of
Let that
agree
shit
with.
go.
I agree with PJ.
No,
'cause
I get what you.
because so
It's
so
not
many
looking-
people who are successful though are like they're expected to do those kinds of things, and that never is that courtesy put towards them, back towards them. So
yeah,
it's
but
like
I mean,
it's
but
not
that's
so
not
much a
the point of.
pride.
I get what you're saying, but if I had all the money in the world, I'll pay for y'all niggas. Like I don't give a fuck as long as much
And-
pizza as we eating together in the most compromising position. You know what I'm saying? Like if I got it and y'all niggas ain't, or even if you got it too, but I know I extra got it, I don't give a shit because y'all my day ones. So it wouldn't even if that's really your day one.
But
I mean,
but
in real life.
But should the day one expect you to do that though? I guess is my point.
No.
Oh no.
I think that's kind of more where I'm getting at. As the day, as the initial, right? Yeah, you're gonna want to provide like we've all been talking about and help out. I'm saying as the day one
on the
like,
other side.
Yeah,
on the
the
flip
day-
side, like how you approach those situations.
You shouldn't
like,
go into it expecting anything.
Yeah. The true day ones would not expect that.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they just
If somebody
you know?
if somebody is gracious enough to do something nice for you, that's something totally different. But
Yeah,
I would never walk into a situation like, oh, this motherfucker's Bill Gates, so I must like no.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. I still pay my own. I still pay my own. But listen, if they're offering, it's like, all right, well, listen, I appreciate you don't have to, but thank you, because that's happened to me. They paid.
Wait,
Like, yo,
you ever notice that happens with family though? Like all the time, like your legitimate day ones, right? Where your family come, you start making something of yourself and your family real quick to jump on the bandwagon. Oh, I'm here for you. You know what I mean? What can you hook me up with something? That's kind of why I brought that up, because you would think that shouldn't happen with family, and that I feel like is the most frequent offender of.
Well, because family feel the most comfortable and they can get away with the most. That's that's the nature of things. You know what I'm saying? Like family's always gonna get away with more, say worse things to you, treat you to worse. That's just the nature of things, man.
Yeah, that's why you got to nip that shit in the butt quick, because if not, they just become bigger leeches, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. Like you can help people out as much as you can, and then you're not obligated to do shit. You know what I mean? Like, so if you keep that mentality, it's like, and then anybody should respect that. And if they don't, then it's kind of like fuck.
Then they really don't fuck with you anyway, because now they just look. The whole point is you find out who really fucking with you, and they get offended because you have $1 billion and you're not buying their dinner. Then they wasn't your homie anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a saying they said. What is it? The first time you say no to somebody, you forget all the yeses you said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
that was in a Beyonce song. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's true. I said it. She was like, the first time I said no is like I never said yes. You know what I mean?
It's true. We all been there.
Word.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I like that. I like that line. And I haven't heard it, but I like it.
It's off her first album. I'll sing you the song. It's a good song.
I like that.
Can a day
promote Beyonce?
Can a day one be like recent, like a year old?
Yeah.
Like, is there a time limit?
I think it's a level of relationship. I think it's like we was talking about trust. I trust Jonah and Ray more than I trust actual blood family members that I'm related to. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not about time. Time helps, but if you fuck with somebody, you fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of how they say love at first sight, but it's not like that. But when you vibing with somebody, when you can trust somebody, it's kind of that.
It's what they've proven to you throughout however long your relationship has been, whether it's 27 years or 2 years. What they've proven to you in that time span, like I used to be on some that's like when they be like no new friends. Like, you never know, that new friend could be the greatest person to come into your life. And like I said, for me, it's God, but it could be the universe or for anyone else. But I feel like he has a funny way of working that into existence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People miss their blessings by saying, putting limitations on things.
Saying no.
Oh, I like that.
That's some real talk. That's some real
true.
talk. Yeah. Because they're just like, I'm gonna mess with my day ones and that's it. But you never know. There's a lot of loyal people out there.
It always comes from the most. It always comes from the most uncomfortable situations that you never want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That wind up being the best for you. Oh God damn, I don't want to do this. And
Yep.
there's something you find a $20 bill on going outside taking the garbage. You ain't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? It's probably you got $20, but at least you found it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But either way, once you start stepping out of those ideals and shit like that, you'll and talking to other people.
Shit, the last 10 years of my life came from something I didn't want to do.
You got some good stuff out. You got some good stuff out of it.
Nah, I mean, I got that's what I got amazing stuff out of it. That's how I still ended up in it. But that's the crazy part, and that same mindset, like what you're saying, it's just applying it to people.
Yeah, man.
Like
it's
I get
real,
it,
bro.
like I don't want to get it, but I get it.
It's real, man. It's real.
It's like, damn it, I gotta be social. Fuck. Man.
It's just you gotta be open. It's not even about you gotta be open.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, like
you know what I mean.
Yo, I got a question for y'all.
Shoot.
As we've been getting older, is it just me or are you guys getting a little more introverted too? I was like so extroverted. Nowadays it's like shit, man. I don't want to go out for shit if it ain't like something worthwhile, man.
Man, listen, I'm at a point where the moment I get home, I don't want to talk to not a nobody. My wife gets a little bit of time, and then sometimes these guys get a little bit of time. And other than that, it's like, yo, everyone else can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
Like
that's
it's
the mentality I'm talking about. As I got older, it's like I feel like I only give time and effort into things I care about. And if I don't, I have no problem in not giving a fuck about it. You know?
It's kind of an energy thing, though. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're younger, man, you just got energy for days. You used to be able to go out and stay up all night. You gotta run around, like go to the club, go back.
You don't know what's important yet. That's a good way to put it.
You know what I'm saying? So you spent all that. There's like some kind of crazy saying. I'm gonna butcher it, but it's pretty much if you put an old mind into a young body, you pretty much have a unstoppable human being. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got all of the energy for your old ass mind that figured everything out.
Yeah.
You can go apply that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the curse of humanity, is because we'll never have it. We're gonna spend all of our energy being young and stupid. And once we figure it out, we ain't gonna have the energy to do none of it.
That's hard.
Man, I mean, yeah, it's true. It's so much of it is a mindset, though, man. Like you look at Ray, he's running around building houses and shit, right? But again, yeah, passing out food and water and shit like that all times of the day. But then on the flip side, like you got it's because he wants to do those things. You know what I'm saying? Because he's also not gaming like he used to when he was younger, right? His priorities changed, his passion changed. So
I still love video games, bro.
I understand. I'm not saying you don't. What I'm saying though is that if it comes to helping somebody right now or gaming,
yeah, I'm gonna choose helping somebody.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So your priorities have changed. You wasn't thinking about going out to Puerto Rico and handing out food and water to people after a hurricane 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
You found something different within yourself to be able to do that stuff, and it applies even to what you're saying, Casket, with your socialization, like your drive to be able to meet people and interact and whatnot is just kind of different, and it's almost made worse when you have a larger circle.
Yeah,
right. Because that's part. You're not seeking the socialization because like you've honed that shit in the last 30 years where it's like, I can fuck with you and you for this, and I holler at you maybe in like a month from next Tuesday.
Yo, my wife says that all the time. Like she's in amazement. She's like, what do you mean you're introverted? You know the most people in the world. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand how it once was. All of these people that I have relationships now, I built those relationships by actually doing stuff and spending a lot of time with them. I'm saying, like now a lot of us just keep in contact outside of my inner circle. But I think I just got comfortable with not feeling, I guess, obligated or even caring enough to do things that I'm not passionate about no more. And that's that. I'm focused on what I'm focused on, and that's really, priorities.
Right.
It's true, but that again though speaks to what Young Ma was talking about. Like, if you're not on my wavelength, if you're not on my path, I ain't got time for you. That's kind of what she's talking about. Just when you start talking about that shit with people, it gets personal and feelings get hurt. But I don't think there's anything different with what you just said versus what she said ultimately. Maybe I'm wrong, but
no, that's why I said I understand where she's coming from. I think the problem lies with her is that it seems like she's dissing and disregarding her day ones for not being maybe on the same length as her, as opposed to saying that we just outgrew one another. You know what I'm saying? But like, I feel like you should still be able to depend on somebody that has built that rapport with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if those people can still depend on her from the way it came across. I don't know if that's true. It could have just been in context the way she sounded, but for me, that's where it differs at. But I do understand business wise, because like, if you start a real estate company today, not everybody's gonna get paid. Not all your friends are gonna get a percentage off every house sold. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to put in work for that too. So,
I one thing that we really didn't get to touch on though is those as much, I guess, is kind of those those fake day ones, because like we don't know where she stands with her day ones also. You know what I'm saying? She could have had people in her circle, who she thought were her day ones, that flipped the script once the money started rolling in, and all of a sudden they're presented with their palms face up in front of her. You know what I'm saying?
that's true.
Like,
we don't know the other side. That's right.
Right. 'Cause, I mean, there could be more to it, I guess, is my point than that, because everyone has to evaluate their own relationships, and do that independent search, so maybe there's more to her story with that stuff on some behind the scenes kind of shit,
Yeah.
Could be.
I don't know.
Could be.
Y'all my day ones though. I got you.
Mine.
Casket, we gotta hook up, man.
Yeah, man. Let's go out. You guys drink?
Yo, real quick. What's up with your name?
So I started off, my first name was Cel Dinero, right? This is years ago, before I was putting out music, but it was locally. And Casket was an alias. I got it from a couple things. One of them was, back then, remember, the internet wasn't really popping. I don't like making it seem like I'm super old, but
And we all about the same age here, man.
Nah, we in there.
But we older than the average.
MySpace.
Rotten.com.
Cypress was going on then. That's how you had to get your name out. So I'll be in every neighborhood and all around New York, not just in Yonkers, where I'm from. And when you air a cipher, people, it came people like, yo, you bodied that, or yo, you put that in the you putting everybody in the casket. So
That's what I thought, man.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons. And another reason was when I was in my late teens, I almost got killed, man. God is good to me. On some street shit, but basically, like, my man was like, yo, it was like you was in the casket already. I seen you in the casket. You came out of there. And like a couple other little things, but it just stuck, and it had a ring to it. But every time I introduce myself, man, the first thing out of a female's mouth is, why they call you Casket? You kill people?
Why always go dark? I mean, I get why it goes dark, but damn.
It's Casket. What you mean?
I get it.
Yeah.
When I was young too, and I'd embrace that shit. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's right. It's like, nah, you keep that to yourself.
Hardened you out real quick, right? It gave you a rent real quick.
Yeah.
So you better act right, shorty. Now you know what it is.
That's funny.
No, but I mean, we appreciate you coming on with us, man, and having this discussion with us.
No, I appreciate it, man. I've tuned into a couple episodes, man. I'm like, I love it because you guys got great minds. You know what I'm saying? I like to write a lot. So outside of music, I do a lot of writing on like social issues and shit like that, just giving my perspective and opinions on things. And once I started tuning in every now and then, I was like, man, I could vibe with these dudes because not everybody's a thinker. And a lot of people that are thinkers, sometimes they don't know how to express it, whether it be verbally or written or however. And I just appreciate it, man. You know?
We appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
Word,
Facts.
bro.
Or we gotta get you
Yeah,
another
bro.
episode, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're gonna
Absolutely.
we for sure gonna get you back here. And in the
Yeah.
meantime, you know, we definitely encourage everybody to find you on Instagram and all these social media platforms if you want to put that out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Plug it.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. Casket D, you can search Google, it'll pop up everything on Instagram and Twitter. It's Casket_MGB. You know, I'm just out here trying to shine, man. That's all. Doing right by my peoples and trying to deliver quality, substance-driven music, man. Something that I feel is important nowadays.
Agreed, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Definitely.
Encourage everybody to listen to Sewer Steam also. That's right. That's your latest
You guys
out.
gotta come through to a studio session one day too, whenever you want. Open invite.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm
Appreciate
down.
it, man.
I'm down.
I'm
See what
down.
I could spit.
I would love to hear it.
If y'all never been to a rap studio session, they mad fun. They go long though, and there's a lot of crazy shit that usually happens.
Yeah, it's always a good time, but you know,
Yeah.
you pop in and out as you please. You don't gotta
There we
stay
go.
long. I lock
Yeah.
in
Okay.
all day and night, but you know.
No, we'll definitely get linked up. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Frank, aka PJ, here with John, Jonah, Ray, Fabian, and Casket again. We appreciate you tuning in. Remember to catch us on all social media platforms and all streaming platforms. Peace.